Hi, I'm so glad you're here. I'm just about to start today's program, but first I want to tell you how proud I am of this organization. In a year like no other, the RJFS staff, board, and volunteers have all been working tirelessly to continue to provide essential services to our community. They are amazing. I'm sure you will agree after viewing this program. So without further ado, let's begin.
Good morning. My name is Maria Dowling. I'm CEO of Rockland Jewish Family Service, and it is my pleasure to welcome you to our first ever virtual Unsung Heroes event. Today, we will be honoring some amazing volunteers who have stepped up to help us during this COVID-19 crisis. We will also be honoring the memory of one of the volunteers whom we lost, Jason Weinger. In addition, you will get an opportunity to learn about all of the programs and services we offer here at Rockland Jewish Family Service. So thank you, all of you, for being here with us this morning. And thank you to our wonderful fundraising committee, chaired by the amazing Leslie Goldress, our event coordinator, Catherine Samelin, and of course, our wonderful videographer, Jeff Karg. We're going to start our program today with an invocation from Rabbi Paula McDrill from Orangetown Jewish Center.
Good morning. Here's something I never thought I would be saying in a benediction to a community. Please focus on the screen. Please put away what else you might be doing and join us here in our Zoom community. The people who are going to be honored today deserve all of our attention. Today's beautiful brunch gathering, I hope you're enjoying your at-home meal, is to honor unsung heroes. In Judaism, the word we use for heroes is gibor, coming from the word gvura. Now, when we talk about gvura as a Jewish value, heroism or strength, we look to God as our role model. And when we speak about gvura as Jews, we are not talking about muscles or using our power against others. We are talking about the incredible power of kindness and empathy and compassion. And those who are going to be honored here today are all of those things. Thank goodness for the unsung heroes of JFS. I hope you will be inspired. I hope you will aspire to great things. And I hope we will all find optimism and comfort in learning the stories today of Rockland Jewish Family Service unsung heroes. Welcome, and let's begin.
Thank you, Rabbi. Throughout this crisis, the Jewish Federation and Foundation of Rockland County has partnered with us to help us to meet the needs of so many in the community. Here with us this morning is the CEO of Jewish Federation and Foundation, Gary Siepser.
Thank you, Maria. It is a real pleasure and a real honor to have been asked to say a few words. This is an incredible opportunity to recognize those volunteers in the community who have done so much during this pandemic. The Jewish Family Service has been Federation's partner for a very long time. And when the pandemic started and Maria and I started working together to address some of the incredible needs in the community, I couldn't have asked for a better partner. And Maria, I'd like to think, couldn't have asked for a better partner in Federation. We worked hand in hand to address the dramatically increased needs around food insecurity in the community. The unsung heroes that we're recognizing this morning are just a small sample of the hundreds of volunteers across the Rockland Jewish community who have helped their neighbors get through this very difficult time. So again, thank you for the opportunity to recognize the unsung heroes. Thank you for the opportunity to recognize the great work of Jewish Family Service in this difficult time. And again, I would be remiss in my responsibility this morning if I didn't again ask that if you're in a position to make a contribution to support the work of Jewish Family Service today, please do so. Thank you very much and have a great day.
Thank you so much, Gary. Thank you for your support. And now we're going to have our first ever virtual awards presentation to all of our amazing unsung heroes. From the time we closed due to COVID-19, the most pressing need in Rockland County was that of food. We had so many requests for food from people in need. And we would not have been able to help all of those individuals without the tireless work of our first honoree, Catherine Samelin. Catherine has coordinated all of our efforts in the food pantry and food delivery and soup deliveries through this whole crisis. So thank you so much to Catherine Samelin. Our next honoree, Melinda Levin, was responsible for creating a COVID-19 emergency task force through her role as a board member of Jewish Federation and Foundation. They raised an incredible amount of money to help people in need during this crisis. Thank you, Melinda. When the COVID-19 crisis hit, everything closed, including Lillian's Cafe, a program that RJFS runs employing adults on the autism spectrum. But we soon found a role for the cafe in making soup that we could deliver to people in need, most specifically Holocaust survivors. We enlisted the aid of a number of volunteers to help us with this soup delivery every week. And those volunteers are amongst our unsung heroes today. They are Marcia Silverstein, Galit Mayani, Nancy and Nate Feldman, Carol Blau, and Michael Berkowitz. Thank you to all of you for your hard work and dedication ensuring that Holocaust survivors receive nutritious food during this COVID-19 crisis every week. Our soup delivery to Holocaust survivors every week wouldn't be complete without the challah that is included. The challah was donated by the challah fairy, Hannalee Fisher. Thank you, Hannalee. From the beginning of this pandemic, the greatest need has really been food insecurity. We have received so many requests for food during the past 9 months. One of our challenges was being able to continue to distribute our food pantry in a contactless way. Many volunteers stepped up to help us with that over the past 9 months. And they are Dr. Michelle Gorlitsky and David Blank, along with their children, Emma and Abby Blank. And speaking of young people, Emma and Abby were just two of a group which I'm calling our Youth Corps of volunteers who have helped us tirelessly distributing food through the food pantry, delivering soup to Holocaust survivors, shopping for people who are homebound, and the list goes on and on. So I'd like to make a special mention to all our young people. Hannah Berkman, Eliana, Ben, and Dean Samelin, Daniel Dowling and Matthew Baldwin, and Cassidy Gaviola. Their energy and their spirit inspires all of us. Thank you all. And now, through the magic of technology, I'm going to take you to one of our food pantry distributions to meet some of these amazing young people. Here I am, and here we are at the food pantry. We started in the blistering heat of the summer, and now here we are in the cold. And I just wanted to recognize some of our amazing Youth Corps volunteers. These are young people who have come and been with us all through this COVID-19 crisis, and they're here today, so I'm going to go over there and introduce you to them. So come with me. Hi guys. Hi. Do you want to say a little bit something about why you're here? Why are you here volunteering?
Sure. I'm here volunteering because it's a nice thing to do during the pandemic, and a lot of people who don't have food are really in need at this time, and I have a lot of free time on my hands, so it's nice to do.
Thank you.
During the pandemic, I know it's been hard for a lot of people, so I wanted to give back to the community just to say thank you for trying to keep us all safe and doing what you're doing.
Thank you.
Check out the huge line of cars we got here. There's a massive need, and I think especially to give people a kosher option is really important and special in what we do, and I think it's a really important mission.
I'm here with my mom. It's kind of humbling to realize how some people can only eat out of these boxes for a certain amount of weeks, and how many of them there are, judging by the amount of cars. It's kind of makes you wonder, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. Very well put.
I'm here to help and give back to the community because there are so many people in need, and I have the ability to help them, and so that's what I am doing.
So again, here's our wonderful group of Youth Corps volunteers. We're so happy to have them here with us, and I'm so grateful that they're willing to take time out of their schedules to come and be with us.
We've been part of the food pantry, the Sundays, off and on for several years. We started when our children were younger in Hebrew school. More recently, during the pandemic, we just felt the need to give back even more when we had the opportunity. And so we started coming at the start of the summer again, and we've been coming ever since.
We love coming here. It's a great thing to do with your family.
It's really nice to help people during times like these because people, especially, they need help, and it makes you feel good about yourself.
You're working with fabulous people here. Everybody's friendly. It's a nice, safe, clean environment, and you're helping a lot of people. And something you could do all ages. We can use help of all ages here, and you're all welcome.
It's hard to see the need increase as much as it has, and it's actually great that we can be here to help people through it. One of the things that really makes this pantry special is that we have been able to grow over the years. As the need increases, we try to expand accordingly, and this summer we had a big jump. It's really a great team of people here. The volunteers that come together every month, everybody is always welcome. We haven't had to turn anyone away because of any reason at all. So that's really satisfying.
I feel everybody who is in a position to help out Rockland Jewish Family Service has an obligation to do their part. And my part, in my opinion, was very small. What I did is I helped bring it to light to our Jewish Federation the importance of giving to our food pantry. And I'm honored to do that. So thank you, Rockland Jewish Family Service, from the bottom of my heart. And again, congratulations to all the honorees, and congratulations to Rockland Jewish Family Services for all you do.
One of the most important programs we run here at RJFS is our services for Holocaust survivors. And through the COVID-19 crisis, those programs are more important than ever. Here to talk about it is our Director of Older Adult Services, Dora Zuckerberg.
Nothing really speaks to our agency's mission quite in the way the work we do with Holocaust survivors does. And during this time of pandemic, we have been focusing on the challenge of keeping our survivors safe and healthy in their homes, and being able to remain in their homes with dignity. we have opened Lillian's Cafe for the purpose of providing food to be delivered to our Holocaust survivors. Since the spring, we've had a weekly delivery of soup, salads, challah, provided mostly by Challah Ferry. My personal gratitude to all of our wonderful soup heroes, and I'm so glad we have the opportunity to honor you today.
My dad is a survivor, as well as my in-laws. Not to mention the fact, as a Jew, we take care of one another. And I know how lonely it's been for many of the seniors to be dealing with the solitude of COVID. And I felt it was just a very small mitzvah that I could engage in. I felt like it was a really nice connection to be able to get to know this person who was such a lovely man, happy man, and to just do a small deed and develop a friendship with this man that I'm dropping off food for. And he's so appreciative, as well as his aide. And I just feel very grateful for this opportunity to meet survivors who we know will not be here forever, and they hold a special place in our hearts.
It's a very nice program. It really helps me a lot. I don't have to, I cannot go shopping too much. I try to do as little encounter with other people due to the corona, and that was life-saving, in fact, for me. And I'm sure for the other Holocaust survivor just as much.
Every time I go, the people, they're very grateful. They're so happy. They always wish us good Shabbos, and they always try to tip us. And we always say no, and they always want to give us a few dollars, which we don't need. It's really sweet, and the people are so appreciative of the fact that we're there, and they always come out to greet us and talk to us, tell us a little bit about how they're doing. And I think it's nice for them to have the company.
Go and deliver meals. Drop them on porches or in stairwells. Call the person, let them know their meal's there. A couple of times when I have actually made eye contact with masks on, certainly across a hallway at some of these quite elderly gentlemen, who just brings tears to my eyes that these people have survived and are still thriving really, really wonderfully, yet getting the help of our services. I will leave a meal at the end of the hall and then start to walk out, and they'll say thank you so much, and I'll say Shabbat Shalom, and I'll get that back. They're always there, and I usually drive home with tears in my eyes.
My name is Charles Srebnick. I live in New City, New York. Originally, I was born in Brussels, Belgium in 1934. Joanne and I are very fortunate that we have Jewish Family Services here in Rockland County to help us. I don't know what we'd do without it, and I'm sure there are a lot of other survivors who need it desperately. The two ladies who run it, Dara Zuckerberg and Susan Connery, are such wonderful people. Such wonderful people. We're so fortunate to have people that have real interest in us to help us.
They have this new program where they deliver food on Fridays to Holocaust survivors. The problem arose because of Corona. So they asked me if I'm willing. I was convinced the first time. Yes, I am so super worried about this Corona, and I usually stay at home and teach at home. But there's a need, and I wanted to help, and if I can help, then why not? So I told her I'll do it. It was nice to see that, to show my daughter that we have, why not give? And even if it's just giving our time and not money, that's what they need right now. And so we did.
Our parents are Holocaust survivors, and the Jewish Family Service has been just angels that entered our lives. When our father passed the end of April, it was 2 months before his 98th birthday. Flory and I don't have enough accolades to express our appreciation, not only for how they've helped in terms of the monetary aspect, but the love, concern, and kindness that they have demonstrated to our entire family has just been a priceless gift. And as both Doris and Gwen have said, this is not only what they do, but this is really a labor of love, and they feel so honored to be able to work with the Holocaust survivors. Our father, after his mother was killed, he happened to have been extraordinarily close to his mom because his father was out of town most of the week on business, and he became fearless. And we could tell you so many stories about our father. He was truly a hero. Our father was told that there were 20 Jews in the forest and that the Germans were coming to kill them the next day. And our grandmother had already been killed, and he turned to his father and he said, "I'm going to get them. I know the forest." And our grandfather said, "You're going to get killed." And our father said, "Either 21 Jews will come out alive or they won't." And our grandfather kissed his forehead and said, "Your mother should watch over you." And our father saved all of those Jews.
My parents, our parents, were very resistant to have somebody helping them. They were very proud, and in their minds, they thought that they could continue doing what they've been doing for all their years. They were very cute, but, being 97 and 92, listen, people slow down. Even we're slowing down at our age. We contacted them. We met with Gwen Murray, who, as again my sister said, is an absolute angel. She is so compassionate and so heartfelt, and she's the sweetest, most loving person that anybody could come across. And literally anytime we have any questions, she always has the time for us. She just, sits and literally holds our hands and says, "Don't worry, it's all going to be okay," and work out.
The Rockland Jewish Family Service, that is so amazing in providing so much needed help for our mom, gets the funds through the claims conference. They are the liaison for the claims conference. In addition to helping out with the remuneration for AIDS, they are always thinking of things to do to really enhance the lives of the survivors.
On behalf of Lita and I and our mother, we would love to thank the Rockland Jewish Family Services for providing the help that they've given our parents and now our mother. It is just priceless. Thank you so much.
One thing we have learned here at RJFS is that this pandemic has not only been a health crisis, it's also been a mental health crisis for so many of us. Here to talk about that and the services we offer here at RJFS are Michelle Koenig and Christine Knorr.
On March 12th and 13th, we all left the office not really knowing what the future was going to hold. Our team came together to figure out how to continue to serve our clients through virtual platforms while everybody was at home. We had to really think on our feet, and we had to come together as a team to figure out how to continue to deliver the services that we were already delivering, but not from our office anymore. We have clients who don't have technology at home. We have clients who don't know how to use certain technologies. So we had to be very flexible in the way that we continued to provide services. We have the most amazing clinicians that truly care for their clients. They're willing to do just about anything to continue providing services so that our clients don't feel so isolated and alone at home.
My name is Christine Knorr, and I'm part of the leadership team here at Rockland Jewish Family Service. And this is my daughter, Catherine. Catherine is 5 years old, and she just started virtual kindergarten this year. We know that when children's routines are interrupted and they no longer have school and friends and sports and all of those things that they usually have in their lives, they feel a lot of anxiety and they feel sad just like we do. But they act out in different ways. And this can cause a lot of chaos at home. Some of what we do as clinicians here is we offer parents support. We offer them parenting strategies and different ways that they can help their children at home. Here at Rockland Jewish Family Service, we really are a family. We care really deeply about each other and about our children, and we all support each other during this difficult time. We support your family as much as we support our own. Isolation has been one of the biggest problems that we've seen over the past 7 months or so. In addition to a weekly therapy session, many of our clients also receive weekly check-in calls from our staff. This has been so valuable for so many of our clients that feel really isolated and alone. They have the opportunity to have someone check in with them weekly who knows their story and truly cares about them. Over 250,000 families have been affected by the loss of a loved one throughout this crisis. Our grief support groups have allowed people to come together and feel less alone. They've been able to process their grief and really support each other.
Many of us have lost loved ones to this horrible pandemic. Here at RJFS, we lost a member of our family, our dear friend and food pantry volunteer, Jason Weinger. You will now hear from many people who knew him well.
Jason never let me take anything too seriously when I start getting overwhelmed. And Jason was always there to say, calm down, always laughing, always had a joke. Jason had an idea about 1.5 years ago when they were talking about getting rid of plastic bags, the bag ban. He had an idea of using boxes. The box idea is phenomenal. Everything fits, you lift up one thing, you're not fumbling around. So every time, there's a distribution, Jason is there because the boxes are there.
So when I think about the food pantry, I think about Jason. I think about his energy. I think about him constantly in motion, whether he was breaking down boxes or in the back with Susan or dragging chickens out of his car for distribution. And although we are so saddened by his loss, we are really heartened by the legacy that he left us at Food Pantry. On a personal level, Jason really taught me how to be a much better giver to my community. And for the Food Pantry, he taught us really how to be better teammates, because that's what he was. He was a great teammate.
When I think of Jason, I think of the Energizer Bunny. He was the guy who was always doing something, a whirlwind of activity. And when I reflect on his actions, I think of that adage, no mission too great, no task too small. He truly did everything, whether it was dragging food up to the front, breaking down boxes, whatever it was, he did it. He did it with energy. He did it with enthusiasm. He was always positive. He always worked hard. He was always the positive person. He just made us all a little bit better at the food pantry. It was a great privilege. And so I say that famous Jewish expression, I hope that his memory will be a blessing for all of us who were privileged to know him.
Jason was always great at helping with everything there. In fact, he would tell me I wasn't being efficient enough. He wanted to be able to move things faster and be able to grab more food to be able to move it. He was always into his logistics. Jason was a great guy and would make all of us laugh and smile, and we're really going to miss him. He was a great part of the food pantry and in our lives.
The families knew each other, the Weingers and the Jacobs. We've known each other for a long time. He was a wonderful guy, always there to help in any way. Never said no to me. I could always count on him. At the pantry, he was always looking for ways to improve things. Never a bystander. Always had a playful side. We'd kind of tease each other. We'd kind of throw boxes at each other when we were breaking things down. It was great. Always got along wonderfully. And he was really a great influence of everybody here. Lastly, I just want to leave with one thing, and I asked my youngest daughter, who's known the Weinger family her whole life, to kind of sum up Jason in one sentence, and this is what she said. She said, Jason always had a positive energy and was always helpful and kind. And that basically sums everything up about Jason in my book.
The food pantry was something that me and my dad did together. We did it once a month, and we'd wake up as early as possible, be in the car by 8 a.m. to rush to the food pantry to do as much as we could. I was usually in the front packing bags, setting up bags, and my dad was in the back doing the heavy lifting. And although we weren't doing it necessarily in the same place together, we knew that whether he was in the front and I was in the back, or he was in the back and I was in the front, that we were doing it together, and that's all that mattered. Something really special about my dad was no matter where we were, he was always thinking about the food pantry. For example, he saw that a store was going out of business and asked them if he could have the carts for the food pantry so that more people could move more things so that the food pantry could move faster. He truly loved the food pantry. My dad was my role model. He made me who I am today, and I can't thank him enough for that. I love my dad, and I miss him so much.
It is a privilege to speak today about Jason Weinger, Zichrono Livracha. It is also a humbling task. How can I possibly capture something of value, something important about the life of a man? It is my experience that we can tell hundreds of stories and still not capture who a person was. I've chosen today instead to just tell 2 stories, and I hope from the stories I share, who Jason was will become clear. First, I'd like to tell you about training 3 amazing Weinger children to become B'nai Mitzvah in the Orangetown Jewish Center. Whether they were studying with Rabbi Sheff or with me, on those days when Dad came to pick them up after their lesson, there was a man with the broadest grin on his face, and if one of the rabbis tried to tell him, "Wow, your kid really did great today," he would just grin even bigger if it was possible, because he knew that there was nothing as amazing in this world as the children he and Jill were raising. The other story happened twice in Israel. Jason was an ongoing member of the OJC mission, the volunteer group that went every single November until this year to Israel to do volunteer work. And 2 of those years, Jason brought his daughters, 1 year, Tamar, and the next year, Michaela. When Tamar went with Jason, they had created bears for the children of Kfar Ahava, a place built on love for children without the kind of home that Jill and Jason were able to create for their children. Jason was so proud of bringing those bears that his daughter and all of her friends had created, and he loved to talk about the experience of giving those bears to the children. In both situations, in both stories, what I know about Jason is pride and joy in his own children, and how that pride and joy was not only inside his own family, but extended into the family of the world. Every child, Jason believed, deserved love, care, and nurturing, something that he was really good at.
Thank you, Rabbi Drill, and thank you to everyone for that very moving tribute to our dear friend, Jason Weinger. And thank you to all of you who have joined us this morning for our first ever virtual Unsung Heroes event. And now, in closing, our fundraising chair, the amazing Leslie Goldress.
Good morning. Hi, I'm Leslie Goldress, and I'm the fundraising vice president of Rockland Jewish Family Service. I want to thank you all for participating in our first virtual fundraising event for RJFS, our Heroes Brunch. We hope that you have gotten to know our agency a little bit better and to learn about the wonderful heroes who worked so hard and continue to work through the whole COVID pandemic. I want to thank the outstanding committee, the fundraising committee at RJFS, and especially I want to thank Maria Dowling and Catherine Samelin for making this event such a success. All the proceeds from this event will help us further our services to the community. If you've been inspired by what you have seen this morning, we hope that you will consider supporting our agency and going to rjfs.org/heroes. Thank you, and have a safe day.